Well, there you are, Ghoulies, and we have a special guest in the castle tonight, Pete O Keefe. Am I saying that correctly?
Well, I go by Peter.
Oh, by Peter. Okay, that sounds better for an author. And you've got a couple of books here, and you have an appearance coming up in Kenosha, Wisconsin at Blue House Books.
Yeah, Blue House Books in Kenosha. I'm going to be signing my latest book, which is White Flight. It's a very bizarre haunted house movie, just published in November from a black-owned press in Pittsburgh. And it's a gentrifying white couple buy a house in a historic black neighborhood that turns out to be haunted. And then they realize the house is trying to kill them.
Okay.
And they have to figure out why and survive the night. And it all takes place in 24 hours, and that's called White Flight.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Yeah, that sounds very cool.
Yeah,
And,
not your typical haunted house story.
Yeah.
Very interesting and real life implication
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
horror in the situation.
I really like haunted house movies, especially there's some of them where it seems like the haunted house is a sort of a personality of its own.
Yeah, the haunted house in this is definitely a character itself.
Okay, that sounds awesome. That's right up my alley. I can speak for a couple. One of them is the Hammer film, The Gorgon. The haunted castle or house. It's not in the movie throughout the whole thing, but it really has got some character to it, you know. And that's a really cool subject. Now, how did you get into writing from the beginning? I mean, just
Boy, my original degree was in the fine arts. I was drawing and painting, basically, in Detroit at Wayne State University. And I was doing posters for a producer in Detroit while I was in college. And he was doing a dance, he was doing the music for a dance performance for this African-American dance theater in Detroit, Clifford Fears. And I was doing posters for them. And we were in a meeting once with Clifford Fears, and he's like, I really want to do a libretto. I want to do a libretto of something. I want someone. And I said, I can write a libretto. I'm a writer, and I had to go to the library to look up what a libretto was. But I wrote it, and it came off
can you
really
Google
well.
that for me? Then?
Yeah.
Editors.
You know, he performed it. You know, it was based on Greek mythology. I thought it was interesting. You know, this black dance troupe doing Greek mythology, and we performed, premiered at the Detroit Institute of Arts. Wow. And I was very happy when one of the columnists in the, I forget if it was Free Press of the News, at the end of the year, in their end of the year column, had it under strangest events of the year.
Oh, okay.
Dance for a Minotaur.
Oh, well, that's all someone like me could ask.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of times I think that's kind of what stage needs to be, that stage presence and that stage story. It needs to be a little bit strange to really make an impact on the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then you just got into books, and of course,
well, I moved to New York City. I had a brother there at the time, and I was writing plays at the time. I decided being an artist wasn't hard enough. I should do something even more difficult, be a playwright, make a living. And I ended up making a couple short films with a friend from Detroit and really enjoyed it. So I wrote a screenplay and got a Writers Guild Fellowship, which they had in those days. They don't have any longer, I don't think. And that got me an agent. I went over to Tales from the Dark Side and pitched and got some episodes. And
well, that's very cool.
That's kind of how it started.
I know. I told you earlier. I'm a big fan of the Tales from the Dark Side. Was recently gifted to like all the seasons.
Oh, okay.
So there's like the first ones. I was at home on Sunday night, though, and not so much on the later season. Some of them I've never seen before.
Yeah.
I never saw the Ghost Rider vampire story, for instance, until this past week. So, and it was very, very cool. They had sort of a unifying tone with them. Grumpy family member gets his just deserved kind of a thing.
Yeah. A lot of grump going on.
I know. I remember one of the early ones. A very favorite episode was the one called Halloween Candy with what's his name? Roy Poole.
Yeah.
Roy Poole, and I didn't realize, because I knew him outside of that. I didn't realize that the writer for that was what's his name? Tom Savini.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I used to see Tom Savini quite a bit at conventions. And if I ever see him again, I'm going to say, you wrote one of my favorite. You did one of my favorite episodes.
So then how do you feel like your time on Tales from the Dark Side and your time writing stage plays, how do you feel that that informed your future process as an author?
Well, for one thing, it taught me the importance of, I was very painfully shy in those days. I mean, pitching people on a project was really hard.
It's an artist thing sometimes.
Yeah. So it was a good experience for that, because there was Tom Allen was a guy in New York at Tales from the Dark Side who took your pitches and decided what to go with. And first he wasn't sure about me, so he gave me the my ghostwriter, The Vampire, which was based on a comic book.
Okay.
So I wrote it as a teleplay, and then I would go back and pitch them. I'd spend the whole week, every day after work, idea 1, idea 2, idea 3, I got them down. And I go in there, and first one you go, well, we did that last season. The second one you go, nah, it's not working for me. The third one you go, nah, I don't like it. So both times, second and third time, I came up with something off the top of my head that I thought was dumb. And he'd go, oh, okay, let's do that. And then I was like, oh, crap, I got to write that.
Well, they did have like I said, they had this kind of unusual theme to that show.
Yeah.
And they had a lot of, people showing up in rooms and hotels and, and the vampire. I always like when they do like a skit with sort of the stereotypical vampire. I always kind of like those things. I mean, I've even done something like that myself, but I had a lot of fun with that, and I just love it. It's a really cool TV show, and I love the whole anthology movies and films, and done some of that too. But yeah, Tales from the Dark Side. Like I said, I see the same sets, and there's that refrigerator again.
Oh yeah,
the kitchen
and I'm sure it probably had the cast food in there too, or something.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I worked in the theater department at Parkside, so I know how stuff goes.
Somebody's in and out is in there. Fries just.
But to me, that's a big fun of it, and watching the older shows, and just remembering that coming on Sunday night at the time it did in the '80s, and
Yeah, it was fun because it was so low budget. It was let's get together and make a play, kind of feeling.
But I mean, there was that. Then of course there was back when I was really young, I got into the Night Gallery with Rod Serling, and the fact that he presented each story with a painting just for the story. I was just all about that.
Yeah, I'd forgotten that show. Yeah. Night Gallery.
I have that. Oh, I have that DVD collection too. So I don't have no cable or no hookup to streaming or nothing. So I just have my DVDs and I watch when I want to watch. But I kind of got a bug to do something like that, like try to do some sort of a short film thing. So my friend Danny, he's the one that he's made a couple movies that his latest one is
What happened
to
Dorothy Bell?
Dorothy Bell.
Yeah.
What happened to Dorothy Bell? I believe it's a found footage film, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. So that's real interesting. But he's a real talented guy that's local, and really people got to know about him because I first met him because we were doing Orson Welles. We were doing. I went to some city council meeting or something, and I ran into this lady that hosts an acting class. And she says, "Well, would you want to do something for your show with Orson Welles' 100th birthday?"
Oh, wow.
I'm like, "Well, absolutely." And then I'm blah 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 telling her about how I was watching Orson Welles when I was a kid. I watched his Sunday night horror show, but also, he would be on the Dean Martin show and all those old, the roasts and all that. So I always knew who Orson was. And then I think in college they made us watch Citizen Kane for a films class. And then I found, then I'm like a huge fan. And he says so many funny things, like the wine commercial where.
Oh yeah.
You have to look that one up.
What was it?
The
No
outtakes.
wine before its time, or something? I don't remember what the tagline was.
If you ever seen the footage with him, he's loaded, he's drunk,
No.
and he's and it's just like, it's just so bad, and somehow.
Well, you had to sample the product.
Somehow, yeah, I think he was.
Yeah.
But somehow the editor managed to put this into this smooth coated commercial.
Yeah, tie it all together. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's a very interesting story, and of course he's got Kenosha roots. He never came back, I don't think, but.
So you have your Detroit roots, of course. So then now being local to Southeast Wisconsin. Do you feel like your work has kind of also stayed its place in Detroit? Do you know people from Detroit that are still really into your work?
Yeah, actually, the cover artist,
Oh.
that painting is a former art school friend of mine from Detroit long ago.
Nice. Check that out.
Sally Young.
Sally Young.
She's been in New York for years now.
Nice. Nice.
And yeah, I mean, my first 3 decades of my life were in Detroit, and so most of my stuff seems to look back on those years for some reason,
Yeah.
because they were pretty eventful years. You know, Counter with the Dead is completely set in Detroit. It's kind of an architectural tour of
Quite
Detroit.
a music scene in Detroit in the 70s, too.
Oh yeah, yeah. So it was always music, and it was just, I mean, it was a forming, a personal forming kind of time for me, because it was a tough time. It was
Well, you know, it was Detroit was very industrial, audio manufacturing and everything. That's what Kenosha was like.
Yeah.
I mean, you come down to Kenosha now, and it's all gone.
well, Kenosha would seem very much remind me of smaller versions of Detroit.
Yeah.
where the auto industry left, and it's,
It definitely did back in the day. I think it definitely had that feeling, but.
I consider it part of my Rust Belt tour.
Yes.
Before this, we were in South Bend, Indiana, my wife and I. So
And there is a very unique type of horror that comes from those dead industry towns and the Rust Belt of America, in the same way that there is that kind of particular brand of Appalachian horror or of Southern, like Gullah Geechee horror.
yeah.
And it's very
Yeah.
interesting to see the differences and then the similarities.
because it was interesting. I mean, in those days, it's completely changed now in downtown Detroit. I worked next to a 18 or 20 story Art Deco gorgeous building. It was vacant the entire time I was there for years.
Yeah.
So
spooky.
and those all became locations for Counter with the Dead.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
For that's my Frankenstein in Detroit. So Frankenstein had lots of places to hide out.
This Frankenstein thing is upcoming?
No, this was 2 years ago,
Oh, okay.
and then the recent release is White Flight.
Because there's a lot going on with Frankenstein right now, too. A couple
Oh, I
different
know.
movies coming out.
I know.
and,
I
you
know.
Yeah, we're
And
in
I don't know
Frankenstein mindset.
I don't know if I was able, because I was talking to you on email, so I don't know if you've seen our intro. It's very Frankenstein.
Yes, I think I have seen your intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we had to create a horror hostess and bring her to life.
Yeah.
So that's the intro for the TV show now. So.
Yeah, and that was really fun to
But
do.
you will be at Blue House Books January 17th?
January 17th from noon to 3.
Noon to 3?
Be signing books and talking about horror, talking about books.
Nice.
Okay. Well, we plan on attending that. You know.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We'll put this clip of the video. We're going to put it on our YouTube channel, so we can just share that, and
Okay.
they don't have to sit through the movie and the whole thing. So, but thank you very much for coming on, and
Yes, thank
I look
you.
forward to seeing you on the 17th.
Oh, thanks for the invitation.
Absolutely.
That
It was
fun.
fabulous to talk
Yeah,
with you today.
and you didn't have to wear makeup.
That's right.
You saved your skin.
I know.
All right, ghoulies, on to the feature.